cursed by the old gods in Bethany. We are 5 immortals doomed to walk the earth until we complete our 1001 tasks. After centuries of dicking around, we are ready to complete our destiny and die. We are, for now, the Immortals. And this is episode 11.
Yay!
11!
You know what's cool about 11?
It's a twin prime.
It's just awesome in every way. 11 is a really good number.
I have a question.
What?
Can we not?
We're going to every time.
Goddamn episode.
Every fucking time.
Only because it pisses you off so much.
Especially-
Multiplication by 11 is fun because it's easy.
Yeah,
that was like the first thing I learned how to multiply when I was a very small child.
You know what?
Yep.
It kind of does. I'm in my everyday life sometimes, and I'm thinking about numbers, and I'm like, God damn it, you guys.
Yeah,
God
Yeah, I know,
damn
right?
it.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking about numbers? This is not important.
It's really important.
very important.
Really important.
No, not at all. My name is Austin,
I'm Adam.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Lee.
I'm Pedro.
and every week we review one of the 1001 movies, albums, food, songs, children's books, and TV shows that you must consume before you die. This week we are doing the 326th entry of all of those books. And let's say what we're doing. The movie is going to be Ashes and Diamonds.
The album is Grievous Angel by Graham Parsons.
The food. We're not just reviewing cheeses. The food is Gruyere.
The song is Famous Blue Raincoat by Leonard Cohen.
And the children's book is Spider-Man Anancy by James Barrie.
And the TV show is a little show called Cheers. Maybe you've heard of it. We'll get to that later, though.
Where everybody knows your name.
We will get to that much, much later. But before we can move on
I'm helping.
to today's topics, we have a little segment that we do where, because we review these things on a weekly basis, sometimes the Immortals can't always review everything in that amount of time, so we have to go back and get some old business and new Henges. Because as everyone knows, we review on a Henge basis. That's a normal thing everyone does rating-wise. So, Pedro, I believe you have some old business and a new Henge to get ready.
Wait, I do? I do!
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that show, that British show, DL and Pasco. I saw season 1, which is all of 3 episodes, about an hour and a half each. I liked it very much. I was correct last week when I said after watching the first 10 minutes I got a good feeling and I thought everything was going to be okay. Everything was okay.
And I said there was a murder?
Well, then I clarified saying okay as in my relationship with the show.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I actually really liked the show. Very well done. I like... Austin mentioned this, because it is that whole cliche old cop, new cop type thing. And they really did play it off a very charming way, and they didn't overdo it at all. Like, there's one scene that I really like where the old cop is they put in a new vending machine for food, and he's trying to get it, and the young guy comes in, he opens the thing up, no problem, gives him the sandwich, the guy's trying to open the sandwich pack, slides it over, the young guy opens the sandwich pack for him, and so on. But they do it all while conversing partly about how things are different now, and also partly about what they're investigating. And just the little things that they threw in were cute, not overdone. I really like DL. The actor, the character, everything about him. It's a really fun show to watch, if only because everyone's British, and they have amazing voices. The first episode, they come across the clues or the end result of the mystery very haphazardly. Things just sort of come out of the blue, and they figure it out, and then they address that in the second and third episode. Things are a lot more, step by step, methodical investigation. I like how the endings are kind of open. They don't flat out say exactly what happened, but they come to the conclusion of the case. So, at the end of the second episode, you don't know exactly who the criminal is or what happened, but you know that they have covered their bases and someone is going to go to jail for this crime. Very enjoyable. I think overall I would have to give the show, based only on the first season, I can come back and amend that as I keep watching, 4.5 Henges.
All right.
Very solid.
Very good. And that TV show was reviewed at a longer length on episode 10. It's an 11-season British cop show, and we do recommend it. Yes, Denzel and Pascoe.
Nope, DL.
I cannot pronounce Scottish names very well.
Well, it's DL. It's pronounced DEE. It's like the letter D and the letter L.
I imagine it's said in the show like a lot.
Yeah,
It is said in the show
I
a
don't
lot.
remember names very well.
And they reference it even. In one episode, there's a Scottish professor, and he hears the name DL, and they're like, "Oh, Scottish?" I'm like, well, kind of. Only his parents.
Like DL Hughley.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
just think of it that way then.
there's no way Pedro knows who that is.
Nope.
All right, so that is your old business, new Henges. They got everyone's. And before we get into our main movie review for this week, we have to have a Henge fact.
Oh, yeah. So there is a Royal Navy submarine that is an S-class submarine that is called the HMS Stonehenge. I find this delightful because it
That
makes
is
me
pretty
think of Stonehenge, the submarine. And it's great. That's
So
my
if they
Henge
say
fact.
they're launching a nuke from Stonehenge,
It's like, it might be a nuke from Stonehenge.
but it might be a nuke from Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
So be sure to read the full news article when you hear about the nukes being launched. Don't just do a headline for that one.
Yeah, it's important.
Oh, I'm sure their security agency did that on purpose to leave some ambiguity.
I mean, there
Where
clearly
they launch-
is a nuclear base
Oh,
for
uh-oh.
Stonehenge.
For those who read one sentence of an article. Okay.
Very cool.
Speaking of bombs blowing up and wars ending things, let's get into Ashes and Diamonds.
Damn.
This is a 1958 Polish film, which is the end of, let's get this right, Andrzej Wajda.
Vida.
My whole thing didn't work out well.
DL Hughley.
D.L. Hughley.
That's the director.
He was great. This is the end of his World War II trilogy after A Generation and Canal. And they're only connected thematically. And this is about the end of World War II in Poland. We follow two assassins who are trying to kill a communist secretary, and they do not succeed. And the rest of the movie is following them as they continue to try to complete their mission all around a giant banquet at a hotel. And this is a very, very beloved war film. It's kind of seen as one of the greatest Polish films ever made, which, I'm a giant, cinema escape, but this is Bill Sims' director. And what did you guys think? Adam, you go first.
Go ahead, Adam.
Thank you. It's interesting that you call it a war movie because it's not like a war movie like you might think, like Saving Private Ryan or something like that. It's because it's after the war. But I think maybe the tagline is that for Poland it's still going on, something like that. I saw that somewhere. So that's really interesting. I don't really think I've seen many war movies like that or considered them war movies. Overall, I wish it was in color.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
It's a crazy note you had for it.
Yeah. Why am I even doing this? No, it was interesting. It was a bit of a slow burn. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. I'd rather riff off.
I have
other
so
people.
much to say.
All right, Sarah.
I was not excited about this. Partially, I think because you described it as a war film to me, I
Yeah.
assumed it was a fighting film, a soldier film, which I've never been a huge fan of. And it's not. It's set on basically at the end of World War II, literally the day
Yeah,
of the end of
yeah.
World War II. And I really ended up going down a history rabbit hole because of it, because it is a Polish film. It's about Poland. I had this professor in college who used to talk about Poland. He referred to it in a very strange drawl as God's Green Acre, where basically everyone is always going to war over Poland. I am Polish. I will put it this way. Poland is a sucky place to live at any time in history. There is no time in European history where Poland doesn't suck. I mean, and what I mean by that is, literally people are always fighting over it. It's big, fertile farmland. And so World War II is this very traumatic time for Poland, and it's rare that you see there's a fair amount of Polish literature about the era, but I have not seen a movie about the Polish experience of World War II. Mm-hmm. And the rabbit hole I went down that I was super interested in was The movie revolves around an assassin who. So everybody in the movie is Polish, and yet they're all still at war with each other, despite the fact that I don't remember anyone's name. Despite the fact that the war is over, they're all still fighting. And Maciek, who's the main character, who I also have a lot to say about, but I'll try not to monopolize too much. He talks about why he wants to kill the communist secretary. And when he talks about, everyone keeps talking about the Warsaw Uprising, which is something I didn't know about.
Yeah, me neither. I had to look that up.
But it's interesting and awesome. So there were not a lot of real resistance fighters against the Nazis in Europe during World War II. I mean, they tend to be overblown in looking back, but Poland was one of the few places that had a real strong resistance, and they waged their biggest fight in Warsaw, in the Warsaw Uprising, and the Soviets were supposed to come help. They were supposed to arrive in Warsaw and fight the Nazis with the Poles, and they didn't. Because they're dicks. Sources vary as to why exactly that happened, actually, but they didn't, is the point.
Well, the U.S. didn't either, because they were supposed to go on like some sort of bombing or air raid or something.
Yes, but I mean, the Soviet army was supposed to like march on Warsaw.
Straight up, march into,
And they didn't. They were days away when the uprising started, and thousands and thousands of Poles died in the streets. And thousands more were killed. Something like, it was like 10,000 people were killed. Plus,
of the soldiers, it was I think the rebellion had like 20,000 or some people.
Plus all of the people who were carted off to death camps because of it. It was horrible.
Yeah, because the Germans were supposed to destroy Warsaw. That was actually a plan they had set for a long time. They're like, okay, eventually we're going to raze Warsaw to the ground. And they hadn't really started, but when the uprising happened, the Nazis were so ticked off about it that they're like, okay, time to put this plan into motion. So basically kickstarted the complete and total destruction of Warsaw, which is why hundreds of thousands of civilians were murdered.
Well, and it's just, I mean, it's so the story of Poland. Like, this is what my old professor used to say. Like, Poland thinks it's got an ally, and they're like, yeah, and then their ally goes, screw you, we want your farmland, and takes over every single fucking time, every time. And so, like, there's something about watching the Poles and these two Polish characters deal with this feeling that they can't trust anyone but themselves. Mm-hmm. And there's this mirroring of the two main characters sort of reaching out and trying to trust somebody and then pulling back, and then the tragedy of how everything unfolds that mirrors what Vida is saying about Poland. And the fact that I was able to get most of that, despite it being a black and white film in Polish, and really, but with just a quick Wikipedia, perusal of what the heck they were talking about in terms of a historical event, I think speaks to how much the movie has to say without beating it over your head. I mean, it's a movie that's about the embodiment of a country in a character, and I really liked it. It's awesome.
Pedro.
I agree. Well, I liked it a lot. I was also kind of expecting, a battle type movie. But no, it was interesting basically for all the reasons Sarah said, watching it just to learn about what actually happened. It's definitely a Polish movie made for Poles.
Yes.
So, when it started, I didn't really know what was going on. I'm like, what uprising are they talking about? All that sort of stuff. Wait, are they celebrating the anniversary of the end of the war? Oh, no, it's the actual end of the war. Why aren't there Nazis coming in and fighting and stuff? So it really does it forces you to go back and learn some of the history. And I think the historical part was the most interesting part because I wasn't very invested in the characters, if that makes sense. I mean, the main character, I kind of wanted him to get with the girl and all that stuff, but I wasn't super invested. I was more invested in her than anything. And it was kind of boring, I guess, from an uneducated white American person's point of view. But it was a fair, solid movie. I wish I had known all that stuff going into the movie instead of after the fact. I would probably watch this movie again, knowing a bit more, to like Sarah said, get that feeling of basically embodiment of the Polish experience. But not a bad movie though. That's what I think.
Well, it's really interesting because you have... Because I didn't know the history as much going into this, and I watched the film, and you know it's set during World War II, but then you recognize that everyone's Polish in this movie. Mm-hmm. There are no Nazis. So to me, the most interesting part became, like, everyone's trying to figure out what is Poland going to look like tomorrow. And you have people who are really kind of dedicated to certain ideas, but everyone's still very hesitant towards if any of this is going to work on either side. I guess that's what I was the most invested in, is seeing what is tomorrow's Poland like. Which side is going to succeed more? Is there a way to, like, not just blow themselves up, really, of kind of trying to make some sort of peaceful situation? Because they're all tempted by so many things, and they're so discouraged by so many things. Mm-hmm. And characters just are, all of them, beyond just the assassins and the secretary, they're just very frustrated. They feel like they can't do enough. And for some characters, that means they have to drink heavily.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So much vodka in this movie.
Yeah, there is. So that was the one other thing I wanted to bring up as because like I said, I went down rabbit holes on this, was the character of Maciek and because it ties into a movie that we watched on a previous podcast. So he is known, the actor whose name, I looked it up, is pronounced Zbigniew Zabulski. Zbigniew Zabulski, which is impossible to spell. Zbigniew.
See, she can't even spell
I
it.
can't even spell it. Like, because it's just so different. Anyway, he was known as the Polish James Dean. He also died young after having been in only a few movies and had this sort of effortless rebel charm. My thought when I read this was, man, our James Dean is super lame is super, like, not hardcore next to their James Dean, who definitely does a lot more, you know, like, our James Dean is a rebel without a cause. This dude's a rebel with a cause. Like, he's got a plan. But I just found that character so fascinating and engaging. And the actor was awesome.
Yeah, he's honestly the reason why I continued watching the movie. It was one of those, like, I spent the whole weekend watching Harry Potter movies, because that's what I do in my free time. And this was, like, in between 3 and 4, so that's where I'm at mentally watching this movie, and I just kept like, okay, well, I'm kind of bored, I'll turn it off in a few minutes, and then I finished the movie.
Yeah.
Because that guy's just so captivating. Like, I watched it because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's awesome. I actually don't even... I can sort of picture his partner, who's sort of the straight man of the
He
two.
kind of looked like Basil Rathbone.
Sure.
Yes!
And that's why he's an old English actor.
Okay.
Played Sherlock Holmes. Austin,
Yes,
you should
that's
know
exactly
who he is.
looks like.
I said yes.
I thought
No,
his
Lee, you're
partner
totally
like,
right. Yeah.
Loki.
Oh, like, what's his guts?
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
That's
Oh.
it. Yeah, that's what I
Okay, so
thought.
still looks British.
Yeah,
Does not look Polish.
Right.
he's got that sort of pointy face.
The pointy, ratty British face.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I just realized that I had forgotten the best part of the movie because I was trying to think of who looks like who. And then I remembered the guy who looks like Willy Wonka and the best scene in the movie, which involves him and an old drunk dude totally wrecking a party. I have never seen a more like horrifying and delightful like depiction of ruin your life drunkenness in a single moment than this scene. It involves a fire extinguisher and jumping on tables and trying to do that trick where you pull the tablecloth out, but it doesn't work and all of the things fall off. And just
trying to do that trick.
I
I
think
thought he was just grabbing.
maybe
it.
he was just grabbing at the tablecloth.
That's what I
He was a
thought.
very, very drunk man.
It was impressive.
I had been reading the Wikipedia synopsis while we were going just to make sure I wasn't missing a major plot point, and I accidentally read just like, and my eyes skipped a little bit ahead to something fire extinguisher, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna stop reading. I want that to be a surprise, and it was great.
It was.
So when you get bored halfway through this movie, don't worry, something awesome is coming.
Or focus on the film and you watch it.
No, the middle drags. The middle drags.
It kind of, yeah.
The end
I
is-
was
the end
confused
is
about
great.
the whole banquet thing because there was a lot of talk about comrades and communism and whatnot, and I thought that to the point where I thought maybe there were some Soviets in there. Was that part
Yes.
of was that like Poland sort of starting to become divided on if it should be communist or not because the Soviets are coming in from where Russia is?
That was absolutely my interpretation of it. Was that there were Soviets who were visiting and were being banqueted along with the head of the Polish Communist Party, and
Gotcha.
that's sort of what I mean.
But they were actual like Soviet.
I believe so.
They weren't, okay. 'Cause I didn't know if they were maybe Polish troops that having fought with the Soviets
Oh, I'm not. I may have
became
missed that
communist,
nuance.
or
Soviet
if they were like
sympathizers.
government people from Poland that were trying to capture power using help from the Russians.
I took it as everyone there was a government person. The only soldiers are the actual soldiers we see who are still in uniform, who are outside of the buildings.
One thing I really liked about this movie is how it's a post-war film. Like it was actually post-war. So there were no sets.
Yeah.
When you see a bullet-riddled building, that was
probably.
a building.
That's what
Yeah,
Poland
that
looks
was
like.
cool. When there's a scene in a collapsed church that you could tell was got the shit bombed out of it, and I'm positive that was a full-on church that was destroyed during the war. That was
interesting.
when you start seeing that scenery, it took me a little bit to realize that's real. This isn't like a set on Saving Private Ryan. This is actual Poland, real post-war Polish people doing a film about post-war Poland.
Only being like 15 years after the war ended.
Yeah.
Since it came out. Yeah.
Well,
I got the feeling that like a lot of the actors that doing this movie was sort of a coming to terms type deal with the war, and also kind of a breath of fresh air that now they can actually film and make movies, because not 10 years ago there was literally hell in Poland.
I mean, Poland in the 50s wasn't exactly a beautiful. Like I said, Poland sucks. Like everybody leaves Poland for a reason, and it's not. Everyone attacks Poland. It's a terrible place to live. I was wondering, Austin, if you know much about the trilogy, because I don't know anything about the trilogy.
I've seen the trilogy. Right. The other two they take place during the war. They're more traditional war films. More guns are fired. But it's all about Poland in the wars. Mm-hmm. So each one kind of progresses a few years later. There's no connecting characters. It's just Vida's look at Poland in the war. Mm-hmm. I think this one's probably my favorite. Although you get a lot of the divide also in the middle one, Canal.
Is there a lot that we're missing having not seen?
No, they're thematic trilogy. You're fine.
Okay. Is this the middle one or the last one? This is the last one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other thing I was just thinking when we were talking about the scenery, it does read as a brutal film made by brutalized people. The deaths in this movie are violent. I mean, the very first death, which happens within the first 5 minutes of the movie, is very violent. And I mean, like, it's sort of,
Well, it's also chaotic, too. They said they're assassins, they're doing this thing, and then their approach is basically jump out of the bushes and fire like crazy.
Yeah, and I mean...
It's not a gentlemanly kind of thing if you see assassins.
Well, and they shoot a guy, and like they shoot him so much that his body catches on fire. I mean, it's like...
I think that was a mistake of the props, and not necessarily that they were shooting him till he caught fire.
Oh, I definitely thought that was intentional.
I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
No, it is. That's a thing that can happen.
I just figured it was the props not working correctly.
But, yeah, no, them jumping out, you could tell that it was, these guys probably were soldiers or were thrown in death camps.
That was another thing.
And that's how you fight. You jump out and fire on a jeep. That's how you kill people.
That was something that the Warsaw Uprising is something I had learned about before, but, I didn't realize just how many Poles, for being Polish,
Yeah.
were put into work camps, and that was something that I found interesting about this movie.
Well, there's a whole thing, because wasn't there, like, sort of a Polish police that was instilled by the Nazis to look over, and they were, like, killing their own people, not even for being Jewish, just for being Polish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, by number, more Poles and Eastern Europeans died than Jews in World War II, which makes sense just based on, numbers and population. The Nazis killed an extraordinarily large number of people. I mean, it's really, and World War II Poland was a terrifying place. It's something that's really hard to get your mind around. That was only, 60, 70 years ago. It's nuts. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know. I the more I talk about this movie, the more I liked it. Actually, I was really
Before we wrap up discussion, it needs to be said this is a gorgeously shot movie.
Yes,
Truly, every moment of that movie, you can pause and put that up on your wall.
So pretty.
It's just
Which was good because I had to pause a lot.
just the most striking lighting and use of shadow, and they frame people so well into the sets, and they kind of have people use the foreground and background so well. Truly, it's an incredible looking movie.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, while I was watching it, like, someone asked me in my opinion while I was watching it, I was like, it's definitely what you expect a stereotypical foreign film to look and feel like.
It totally is. It totally is. It's like, if somebody was like, I would like to watch an important Polish film now. Like, this is that movie.
Yeah.
People talking about philosophy.
Except for that awesome scene with the fire extinguisher. It's just great.
Well, there's some other bits of humor. The main guy, when he is first flirting with the bartender, there's a part where they're doing banter back and forth. And at one point, she goes, I don't understand what you're saying. And he goes, neither do I. And just kind of walks away. As the banter became, too metaphorical.
I really just wanted her to smack him, though. He was being obnoxious.
Oh, he was super obnoxious.
Yeah.
He was the best. I'm in love with him.
But it was kind of, he first flirts with her by, she's trying to pour his drink, and he keeps, moving it around.
I liked that. That was cute.
And it was so annoying, but then it kind of ends with him pulling out a different cup from his jacket pocket. Which kind of saved the whole thing. It was cute.
Liked that. It was cute.
Any last thoughts around the table? Adam, you want to riff it all?
That's what I do. Well, yeah. I mean, there was a big part of it that was the love story, which we haven't really touched on, and it was interesting because there's a large chunk of it in the middle of it. And is that what you guys were talking about when you said it was slow in the middle?
I think it's kind of waiting for the banquet to start.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything, all the characters were sort of in their little pause and wait for things to happen zone.
Everyone's sort of chasing each other around the hotel, but not quickly, slowly.
Except for the love interest. That was the only thing that was sort of moving forward. But even then, it was kind of
slow.
Yeah.
I was curious because it really was between two characters, but then at a point, she does become more of a symbol for a better tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's him not wanting to be part of this kind of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But even though that becomes thematically the point of the romance, I never thought she was a lesser character. I thought she was actually a very kind of quiet and understated.
I think she was a normal, young, 20-something female during 1945 Poland. I mean, the whole I don't plan that far ahead. Well, you can't really.
Yeah.
Well, there's a point in the movie where there's the main character Maciek is sees a woman who is completely distraught because her boyfriend, fiance, whatever, was killed, and the guy was just get over it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's that's kind of the mentality they kind of had to have at that point. It's yep, deaths happen regularly, get over it.
Yeah, basically. And I don't know, I was kind of I hurt for the young lady. If that makes sense.
Pedro, you're an emotional guy. I think you should then start with our Henge rating.
Sure. Well, not the more we talk about this, the more I like
All
the
right.
movie. I was gonna give it something like a 3.5, but I think it definitely deserves a 4 because it deserves a 4.
Well played.
Yeah, I agree. Solid 4.
Yeah. This is I think the definition of a 4 movie almost.
Man, I will say I would never have expected ahead of time to put this high, but I put this at a 4.5. I loved this movie. I'm not sure I loved it as much watching it as I've enjoyed thinking about it later.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. I really liked
No, that's
it.
true.
That's the power of art. I really
Yeah.
picture that. I'm going to go 4.1.
Woohoo.
Adam?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 too.
All right.
I didn't. It wasn't like a heart pounding. Like you don't really enjoy it, but I did enjoy this discussion.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like going to an art museum. You don't go to be entertained, really, but you go to like think.
I still
I
have
def-
like
I wanna
7
see
different
this again.
topics I would love to bring up with you guys. I mean, I just feel like it's such a rich movie.
Yeah, I would definitely say if you watch this movie, bone up on your Polish history
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And also make sure you have friends that watch it too, so you can have really cool discussions with them.
Yeah.
I would like
Or-
to see this. Like, if they screen this ever in like a small
Ooh, yeah.
theater or something, I would like to see
Oh,
this.
I would watch this on
Or
the big screen.
remember, you can email us at theimmortalspodcast@gmail.com.
Good point.
And we'll be happy.
Oh yeah, we can converse with you.
You can talk
Yeah.
to us.
You
Aren't
know
we
the people who've
interesting?
seen the film. And this film is available through the Criterion Collection and is available on Hulu Plus. So access is easier than you think.
Ta-da.
But now let's move on to something that I have no transition for. Grievous Angel.
Ugh.
All right.
Well, there we
Making
go.
a segment where
You're
Lee
getting a lot
doesn't
of
like
bad
music.
I'm having not good albums lately, and I'm blaming Bethany. It's probably her
It's
fault.
probably
I'm
her
just,
fault.
Sure.
Could
just
be.
saying. So, Grievous Angel by Graham Parsons. It's his second solo album. You may know him because he toured and recorded briefly with the Byrds, 1960s-ish era. So that hippie free love feel. And then he did his own thing, which was make a country album. Because, you know, it's what you do.
Yep.
Cosmic rock is what he wants to call it, I think.
I don't think you get to
No,
name
it's-
your
it's-
own kind of rock. As soon as you want to name your own kind of rock, you're an asshole.
This has rock and roll elements to it, this album.
Yeah.
But are they
This is-
cosmic?
This is not purely country.
I think he wants to call it cosmic, like
Cosmic
rock
rock.
country. I mean, he knows it's country, but cosmic really sticks out for no reason.
Cosmic rock is David Bowie, if you want to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cosmic rock. This is country.
So what did you think of this album, Lee?
So I've been on record saying that I'm not the biggest fan of country music, and that is probably why my rating for this album is not going to be the greatest, because this is definitely country music. They fucking say yodelay hee hoo at one point. There's yodeling, there's steel guitar, there's fiddle. If it's a country cliche, it's in this album.
There's not a lot of truck talk.
Yeah.
The first song talks about, like, big rig angels or something like that.
Okay, I forgot that line.
There's some truck talk, but there's no line.
Yeah. There's 7 other songs.
It was not my favorite, and, like, I tried to find stuff to support it and, like, try to convince me otherwise. Nothing did.
So you didn't like one single song?
No. Like, the song that I liked the most was probably the first one, Return of Grievous Angel. But it still was super country, and it's like, I like it if I kind of cover my ears and block out half of the music.
Lee likes the song if she covers her ears during it.
Yeah.
It
So-
wasn't great.
So I accidentally started listening to his first album first. I was
Yes.
halfway through this going, this isn't that bad. And I go, oh, none of these are on the tracks. I got this wrong. But so it's kind of, I enjoyed the songs on his first album, but now, jumping to his second album, he had a very, very simple sound in his first album. There's kind of some good lyrics, but very simple country tunes. And every one of these songs had a very sophisticated soundtrack to it. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought you got a lot of instruments. You got you had some good melodies going on. I really enjoyed listening to it. Bit let down sometimes by the lyrics, but overall, I thought it was very pleasant music and really, I don't know, likable. I thought it was well made.
Yeah, I thought a lot of the songs were fairly charming. Like Brass Buttons was great, and I don't know, Lee, I would have thought that you would have at least like enjoyed listening to either like Cash on the Barrelhead or Ooh Las Vegas, because those were...
No. Cash on the Barrelhead? No. That's the song I liked the least.
Really?
That's the one with the yodeling. And you know why I don't like that song? There's a connection. Guess who wrote it? The Louvin Brothers.
Get out of here! No way!
Not even lying. Like, I was trying to find more information about this, and I was like, why do I hate this song so much? Oh, the Louvin Brothers.
So
Damn them.
But they didn't write any of the stuff.
They wrote that song?
I suppose.
Back in
Like,
episode
that was
7.
another thing. Like, the two songs I probably liked the most on this album were his two new songs. Like, a lot of the songs were either written by other people, so they were covers, or they were on his first album. Or other albums. And, like, the only two songs that he did for this one were In My Hour of Darkness, which I liked. It was more simple, and that's why I liked it more. And then Return of Grievous Angel, which, again, I tolerated more than enjoyed.
We covered the Louvin Brothers in episode 7 with their album Tragic Songs of Life.
I thought it was that Graham Parsons just didn't... This was an album of songs that he, for whatever reason, didn't get on other albums. Like, he didn't transfer them over. He made them for other albums and they didn't get on.
Oh.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I thought... There were a couple that I thought were on other albums. And, like, again, a couple of these were just straight-up covers. Like, Love Hurts. Mm-hmm. That one, everybody should have recognized, everybody who listened to the album, because it's been done a million times by a million different people.
Yeah, I liked his version, though.
Yeah,
it was
really good.
interesting. I really liked Emmylou Harris. I thought she was amazing, and I totally want to listen to more of her stuff now, but I don't know. I didn't really care about Graham Parsons, and it made me feel kind of bad.
You just hate so much things.
You do not
Well,
like him.
Okay, and this is like another thing why I think the album was such a big deal, is because it was a posthumous release. He died the year before this album came out. At age 26 because of a drug overdose, like you do in the 70s.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think that's part of the reason why. And he did do a lot for country music and the country rock genre, because he kind of gave it that more popular sound. And so none of the songs sounded like Home on the Range, unlike the Louvin Brothers, where all of them sounded like Home on the Range.
Yeah, and I think that's what there is to like about this. It's the transition from country to rock in the mainstream.
I thought the rock elements really kind of saved the album for me.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, if the steel guitar was dropped, I'd probably enjoy this album a lot more.
I want to hear your hinge rating, Lee.
I'll give it a 2. I'm definitely will not listen to this again.
Adam?
3. I will listen to this again.
3.3. All right. It was solid. I mean, I liked it. Didn't dislike a single song. And I thought it was a really good version of Love Hurts. So
yeah.
Are you keeping it on your iPhone?
That's the thing. I think I might.
Ooh.
I'm going to keep at least most of it.
Yeah.
Good stuff going on. So that's Grievous Angel by Graham Parsons. You can find that places. I don't know. Many places. Libraries.
Internet.
iTunes.
I got it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So many choices.
Grievous Angel.
And now...
Oh my god. Do I get to eat cheese now?
Cheese!
Pardon the noise. I'm going to move this paper over.
Yep.
We had to keep the cheese on the other side of the table because I was eating too much of it.
It would have been gone. Austin and I wouldn't have had a
seriously.
chance to eat it.
So we're reviewing Gruyere today. Gruyere, the king of hard, nutty cheeses. Oh, it's so good. But I will give it to the boys before
Nutty?
Is it nutty like silly?
No.
Silly
It's
cheese.
I think you'll be able
What
to
a
tell
zanky cheese.
what I mean. We'll be interested to know if it's just like a weird cheese term or whether you actually recognize
When
what
I
I'm
think of the
talking
smell
about.
of cheese, this is it.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, you're
Like,
right.
This is cheese. This is the look and smell of what cheese
It's
is.
true. So if you haven't had Gruyere, it
Okay.
is a hard cow's milk cheese. It's yellow. It slices like hard cheese. I mean, you're right. It's very
It is,
straightforward.
now that you said that, Austin, it just tastes like cheese. You took all the fun out of it.
Yeah,
No.
this is
It's like
cheese. We are
And I will
reviewing
say-
all of cheese right
I
now.
will say for Adam and Austin, the Gruyere we are eating, I got it from Pastoral Cheese and Wine Shop in Chicago. This is some of the best Gruyere I've ever had. It is really good. I love Gruyere. It's one of those basic. I think Gruyere was probably the first, like, quote unquote fancy cheese anyone ever got me into. They were like, well, you like Swiss cheese. I remember my friend Christine, shout out, hey, was like, I was a super picky eater, and she was like, well, look, Gruyere is just like Swiss cheese. It's just like fancy Swiss cheese without the holes. And I was like, okay. And it doesn't really taste anything like Swiss cheese, but because she said that, I ate it, and I fell in love with it. It is mild and nutty, for lack of a better word.
I don't get the nutty part.
It's weird. It might be kind of a cheese. It might be kind of a cheese snap thing. Like the word nutty, when you talk about cheese, refers to the flavor that you taste in Gruyere. There's like some sort of it's one of those hard things. Like, it's sort of like when you say that wine tastes like grapefruit. Like, it doesn't really taste like grapefruit necessarily, but there's sort of this taste we have ascribed to that name. Similarly with this cheese. But what do you guys think?
Adam, you had very pondering thoughts there. You very dramatic poses.
No, there's a lot to take in with this cheese,
sure.
honestly. There's a lot of different flavors. At least 3, I would say.
Which are?
Cheese. Gruyere cheese and Swiss cheese.
And Fruit Loops. I don't know where that came from.
No, I know what you
Trust
mean.
you.
Do you know what, though?
You're having a stroke.
When I was eating this, for some reason, I thought of the TV show Animaniacs. For absolutely
That's weird.
no reason.
That was a little weird.
It's very weird.
Okay.
So this is the Animaniacs of cheese?
Yeah. I used to watch Animaniacs.
Is there a
cereal.
certain Animaniac that this cheese embodies, you think?
No. Don't ask me that, Pedro.
I'll say Dot.
Are you guys eating? You're eating cheese.
Yeah.
We actually have Gruyere because it's one that you can find at your local grocery store most of the time.
It's relatively easy to find now.
Mhm.
It is sort of like the least fancy cheese. It's pretty easy to find. It's so good.
I really like this cheese.
Oh my god, it's so good.
This is like the perfect. Oh man, some of those ostrich burgers with this on top.
Oh yeah.
That would be so good. I bet this cheese melts really well.
I will say my recipe, which I would have made if I had the time tonight, that I make with Gruyere cheese. This is like my showstopper that I bring to when you eat a side dish: cauliflower gratin with cheese sauce made with Gruyere and breadcrumbs. It's pretty much the best food in the entire world.
That does sound really good.
And it's made of vegetables, so it's good for you, right? It's not. It's made of like cheese and cream, and it's so good. So it's a very good cooking cheese. I mean, and you'll see it all over the place. It's used in quiches. It's used in. It melts extremely. It melts extremely well, so it melts into a cheese sauce really easily. Caramelizes well, and you can just eat it, which is what I'm doing.
It's kind of an all-purpose.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it really
the
is.
ultimate cheese and crackers thing you'd ever
Yeah.
This might be my go-to melter cheese. I was a big fan of Dubliner.
Yeah,
I would use that. But
it's got more flavor.
this is
than Dubliner.
very similar, but it's not quite as, I don't know, sharp. Maybe it is. But I think I might actually go to this. Just put some on a cracker, microwave it for a little bit.
That's the other thing. Gruyere is the wimp's interesting cheese. Not that Gruyere is obviously that interesting, but like no, I'm sorry though.
It's entry level.
It's
We
very,
were all like
no,
this cheese.
it's entry.
You
No, but
bought this for
it's
like
great
this.
stuff because it's entry level. Like it was my
Yeah.
entry level cheese of like it's interesting. It doesn't taste like the cheese you get like the cheese you get in a craft package. You know it's something different, but it's not funky. It's not. It's not blue. It's not goat cheese. It's
not a stinky feet cheese.
It's not a stinky feet cheese. It's really it's tasty. It just tastes good.
Could you say if you like this cheese, then that means that you can graduate to other cheeses?
Yeah.
It's like
It's-
unlocking
yeah.
it.
I
It's
think so.
interesting. Yeah, you could move from this. Either you could move towards the like more strongly flavored hard cheeses, like the really sharp cheddars, the really sharp anything that's hard and sharp and really sharp Goudas, or you could move more on the soft, creamy palate, which also is in this cheese, and go towards your spreadables, brie and its variants and environs. Either way, it's a good starter cheese. If all you've really experienced of cheese is what you can buy in a craft package, Gruyere is the perfect place to start.
Just like Blink for Doctor Who.
Just like Blink for Doctor Who.
I understand now.
My take on the nutty flavor is I think it's sort of that deep flavor that sits on your tongue exactly where nuts would. It's kind of like sort of the back and back roof, everything. It just sits really well as an after flavor. That's kind of what I imagine they mean when they say nutty, if I had to guess.
I can see that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder if this would go good with whiskey.
It goes with everything.
It does. I will tell you it
As
does.
it also goes well with beer, which I'm drinking right now. Basically, it's the perfect cheese.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Can I have another slice?
Yeah. Seriously, take it away from me. I've eaten so much of this cheese. It's not okay.
So, are we ready for hint ratings?
I think so.
Sure.
I think we've been very, very positive towards this. Sarah, what do you give this?
4.8.
4.8.
I was leaning towards 4.8. I'll give it that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if this gets a 5, but 4 point... I'll be a rebel. Instead of 9 out of 10, I'll say 9.5 out of 10. So 4.75.
I was going to go 4.5.
All right.
I'm going to give 4.6. I think this is really good. The texture of it throws me off a little bit. Like, you get too much in your mouth. It's just like, you get too much cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I don't understand your
it
criticism.
But
Does
I
not
think
compute.
truly the taste, the smell, the look, this is the cheese you were looking for.
Yep.
And if you like Kentucky bourbon, I recommend that with this cheese. No reason.
No reason.
Did that
Adam's
topic
not
always
doing
make it on
anything
there?
right
I hope so.
Cool.
So, Pedro, while
Take it away. It has to not be next to me.
Adam pours his whiskey, let's hear some sad thoughts from Leonard Cohen.
Oh, man.
Okay. So I suppose it's my turn to talk about my song.
You nailed the transition, Pedro.
Yeah.
Yay! So this week I have "Famous Blue Raincoat," a song by Leonard Cohen, who's a Canadian singer-songwriter who was born in 1934. I suppose he's still alive, but he's getting up there.
Yeah, he is.
This is the 6th track of his 3rd album, Songs of Love and Hate. Came out in 1971. Interesting song. I like it a lot. It's really melancholy, sad.
Yeah.
It's written as a letter to. He doesn't address it, but you kind of get the feeling that it was a friend of his. It's about he's just writing a letter, sort of, kind of to catch up, kind of not. It alludes to a love triangle that existed between the person he's writing to, the singer, and this woman named Jane, I think.
Yes.
Yes. And from what I understand, this man took this Jane away from the singer, and then she came back to the singer. And now it's been probably many years since they've spoken or been in contact, and he's just writing a letter. It opens up very... I mean, it's very lyrical, nothing too complicated in the actual music itself. Some guitar, maybe some female vocals in the background. But apart from that, it's just lyrics. It's him singing and guitar. I'm not sure if this... Because the blue raincoat that he mentions, the famous blue raincoat, actually existed. It was a coat of his.
Oh, man. Did you read the Wikipedia liner? It's on the Wikipedia page, but it's the liner notes from which is like it's just the most like artist liner notes I've ever read about this famous blue raincoat. I can read them. I have them in front of me.
Go for it.
His liner notes about the raincoat. I had a good raincoat then. A Burberry I got in London in 1959. Elizabeth thought I looked like a spider in it. That was probably why she wouldn't go to Greece with me. It hung more heroically when I took out the lining and achieved glory when the frayed sleeves were repaired with a little leather. Things were clear. I knew how to dress those days. It was stolen from Marianne's loft in New York, sometime during the early 70s. I wasn't wearing it very much toward the end.
That's pretty
that
good
is
liner
really
note.
That is some serious liner note shit. It's actually kind of beautiful, but it's also pretty ridiculous.
My favorite scene in Tootsie is when Bill Murray is just at a party. He keeps talking to all these people, and they just keep cutting back to him talking to them, and just no context. He says things like, "I want a theater that only opens when it rains." Everyone just kind of keeps nodding at him, like, "Yeah."
That's how I feel about these liner
That's Leonard
notes.
Cohen.
Yeah.
now I'm wondering when he wrote the song, because, like you said, it was stolen in the early 70s. He didn't wear it much towards the end, but the song came out in 1971.
Right.
So I wonder what... He must have had this for...
Well, he bought it in 1959.
Yeah.
That's why Elizabeth wouldn't go to
so-
Greece with him, Pedro.
He must have had the song in work or on his mind for a while. And I am really curious to know if this is based off of an experience of his... Because he signs it at the end, sincerely, L. Cohen. He signs
I
it
thought
as
that was
himself.
really interesting. I was sort of surprised by how surprised I was by that, but it is relatively unusual that you have an artist who signs a song like this that reads like a poem with his name. As if,
with his
this
actual...
is not
like a
about
letter,
this is not about an abstract person. This is about
No, it's an
Leonard
actual
Cohen.
letter, that he wrote.
Well,
I want to know what, because there's another thing that they mentioned in the song, like, what did it say? It says that Jane came back with a lock of your hair. She said that you gave it to her that night that you planned to go clear. Did you ever go clear?
So
What does that mean?
I looked it up because I was interested because it reminded me of Going Clear, which is the Scientology documentary. And
Oh, yeah,
indeed,
that's right. He was a
Leonard
Scientologist.
Cohen was briefly a Scientologist because
To
he was
pick up
told
women.
that it was a good place to pick up women.
Yep, that's right.
So it's-
I read that.
That's
Most of the things that I read about the song in the 15 minutes I spent looking at this, I mean, that's what it means.
So wait, that documentary is called that because of the song?
Yes, Austin.
Going clear? So what does it mean when you go clear?
No,
Are you being
sorry.
sarcastic?
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were kidding. No, going clear is a general term is the key thing you do in Scientology. You go clear. So
Okay.
the idea is that's how you achieve enlightenment.
So it's sort of like...
I didn't mean to
Okay.
make fun of you.
just
I just read a lot about Scientology, so I assumed that was common knowledge.
No, I read the book called Going Clear. Forgot that term.
Yeah, so going clear is just the general, like, going clear is what you always want to do, you're reaching enlightenment. So him saying, I wonder if you ever went clear, like the idea that he met this woman at some sort of Scientology gathering and they were talking about
Gotcha.
this, makes sense. Oh no, I feel like a jerk. Sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you.
Well, you
drink
think
my
that's
beer and
why
my
he
cheese.
took her away? Like, he took her away, and then she was like, okay, no, the Scientology stuff isn't my bag. I'm going back to my original love.
I mean, that wasn't the feeling that I got from when I was reading about his involvement with Scientology. It didn't look like he was a particularly... I mean, he wasn't our Will Smiths and our Tom Cruises. I mean, it was more of a passing interest, and back before Scientology necessarily was the huge money that it is now. But, but obviously it seems to have. But that is the reference that's what going clear means in the song.
Okay.
I really do enjoy when lyrics are rich enough and not distracting enough where it does feel like this can be solved. Like, it's much like a good film, the more you invest time in it, the richer the experience is. And this film already was like this. Sorry, the song was very sad and beautiful without even focusing on each individual word.
Yeah, no, I listened to it and I loved it immediately, and then I printed out the lyrics and read along, and I was like, wow, this is very deep. And then the more I listen to it and the more I read, the more I try to figure out what happened, and the more I like the song, really.
It reminded me of Edgar Allan Poe a little bit. The Annabelle Lee poem.
Not really a...
Isn't that that's all
connoisseur.
about the longing he has, kind of.
Wasn't it written about his cousin?
Annabelle Lee?
Yeah.
There was, not as much
Incest in
going
this
on in
one?
this song.
Okay.
As
I was just
far
thinking of
as you
sad
know.
imagery of a woman gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
like
yeah.
Poe's birthday today. Sorry. It's got tied in somehow.
But yeah, I think it's a solid song musically, lyrically, not much missing, not much to desire more. I think I can henge this comfortably.
This is my first Leonard Cohen. I was very impressed by it. I want to listen more.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had heard a song here and there, but actually sitting down and being like, all right, I'm going to listen to this song, I now want to listen to a lot more Leonard Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently he was super influential.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like-
it's huge. He has like several.
I'd never heard of this guy.
Oh, really?
Everybody's probably heard the one song, Hallelujah.
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
He's
It's
yeah.
been used in, like,
Every
every
movie.
other movie
Well,
since 1990.
And is he the original
He's the one
writer?
who made it famous.
No,
Oh,
right.
this-
He's not the original writer. Because Jeff Buckley covers it eventually, and that's the really famous cover. But I think Leonard Cohen maybe wrote it originally.
Oh, what, the song you guys are talking about?
Yeah.
That you
definitely
you
heard.
most likely know it from the Rufus Wainwright cover, which appears in Shrek. I heard there was a secret chord.
Oh, that guy.
That one. There you go.
That's not Jeff Buckley?
Well, I think that Leonard Cohen is now I'm interested, but I'm pretty sure Jeff Buckley is the cover and Leonard Cohen is the originator, but let me check. The Leonard Cohen version is awesome.
Yeah, I thought Jeff Buckley did the Hallelujah for Shrek.
No, that's a Rufus Wainwright is the Shrek cover.
Oh.
I think it is Jeff Buckley because Rufus Wainwright just did it on one of his albums because he could.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right on that.
Oh well, now I'm confused.
Okay, while we give our hinge
No, because
rating,
the Jeff Buckley version is like 9 minutes long, and the Shrek version, which I have on the Shrek soundtrack, which I own, is like 4 minutes long.
okay, while we give our hinge rating, Sarah's gonna look up the Shrek soundtrack.
Okay.
And
I give Hallelujah 4 Henges.
That's probably on the list.
That's not.
I give Hallelujah 5
It's probably
minutes.
gonna be
We're not
one of the
there yet.
songs.
Yeah.
So, Pedro, give us a hinge rating for Famous Blue Raincoat.
I like this a lot. Definitely will keep listening to it. Keep it on my phone. 4.25.
All right, Lee.
I really like this song. I'm sorry, I was reading which Hallelujah version it was.
I thought
on
you were
the Shrek
listening
album.
to it right now.
No, I really love this song, and I'll totally listen to more Leonard Cohen now. I'd give it a 4.5.
I'm also gonna give it a 4.5. This was beautiful.
Me too.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
4.5.
And I will give it a 4.4. And I
Wow.
am right that Rufus Wainwright's version is included in Shrek.
On
Yeah.
the soundtrack album, but it was John Cale's version that was in the movie.
Well,
So no one's right.
So no one's right.
Wikipedia.
What?
That's the best solution. I have
But
a
the
question.
original song is by Leonard Cohen.
Is this the first time I rated something lower than everyone else?
I think.
And didn't freak out about it? Yeah.
I don't know, man. What's your question, Adam?
Do you tally when you tally your Henges? Do you do to the second decimal place or?
Second decimal place.
We're
you do?
about to go to the
Okay.
second, right? Yeah.
I think did Pedro force that on you?
Yes, Pedro forced that on.
Yeah, because Pedro's been crazy at the beginning. That's like, all right,
I think increments of 0.25 are fair.
you can.
I'm never going to. For the 20 years that we're going to do this podcast, I'm never going to.
Never.
So I can
Wow.
never use pi. I always have to round it off.
You can
Well, I mean,
definitely not use
The
pi.
averages just become the 0.25. This isn't even online yet. This is This will eventually be on the website. It's not there yet.
Right.
Anywho, once again, no transition. Spider-Man Anancy.
Yes.
A children's book.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Not the Spider-Man that you're thinking of.
This is
Boring.
Miles Morales.
What?
Nope, one person found that funny. Keep on going. It's not you guys, but
Not me.
So, some listener was like, "Wow, Austin, that was a great joke."
I didn't even hear what you said.
didn't
I was
hear it
I was
either.
cutting cheese.
We're too busy doing movies.
in Ultimate Spider-Man by Brian Michael Mendes, the Black Latino Spider-Man was Miles Morales. This
Okay,
This is
I
a
get it.
Black Spider-Man.
Cool, Austin. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna see what gets cut out. Your entire review of my book.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what is this book?
So this week I read Spider-Man Anancy, which is it's by James Barrie, who's an officer of the British Empire for his poetry. But he also writes children's books, and this is one of them, and it's a collection of short stories about Caribbean folk tales. And they all they either center on or he's involved in the character Spider-Man Anancy, who is half spider, half man. Very much like
So
the
it really
Spider-Man.
can do everything a spider can.
Pretty much, yeah.
Especially when he turns into a spider.
Yeah, he can actually turn into a spider, like
Oh.
the size of a spider.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
That's why some people think that he's kind of a god, which is kind of cool.
Wait, is it like spider legs and then like a human torso?
It's actually, yeah, it's like he had, like, picture a human, and then he also has 4 legs, 4 extra legs coming out of his pelvis.
Gotcha. And they're like spider legs. They're not just human legs.
So, yeah, they're spider legs. Yeah. So he has arms and legs like a human, and then 4 spider legs. And just, like, jet black eyes, solid black.
Oh,
2 of them.
that's creepy.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool. Like, he has this great little smile on him. I'm describing the cover of this book that I have.
Well, there's illustrations in the book.
Yeah, there are illustrations too, and it's interesting. All the characters are like animals, and he's He's the only insect, except for the bat, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of him now.
Yeah.
Can I see it? I wonder if
Yeah.
I read this as a
Interesting.
child.
Can he
think
shoot
it's
webs
a-
out of his hands?
He
Or does he have a
cannot.
spinner in his butt?
No, he really doesn't use his spider powers that often, and he only uses it to hide from people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good for him. Good of him.
So, the stories go like mostly, they're like morality tales, I would say, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Some just like, this is how this happened. Like the very last sentence is like, this is why our leaders always try to hide things from people.
Yeah, there's a thesis at the end of each one, but it works out.
Yeah.
It fits within the charm of the story.
Yeah, no, it's really charming. So it's usually Spider-Man. Anancy is, or you can call him Bro Anancy if you want. That was a good story. When he makes everyone bro, it's a great story.
Because then you get Bro Tiger, you get
Bro Tiger, Bro Dog.
Bro Dog's the best.
It's his best friend.
Yeah. Bro Dog.
Yeah.
I'm assuming since he's Jamaican, the author is Jamaican, that it's probably not the same type of bro that we're thinking of.
Yeah, it's not like frat bro. It's like
Okay.
It's like
Just
your
Brother.
Yeah, it's like a familial bro.
Okay, I didn't read or listen to the story, so I just wanted to clarify before I started making images in my head of bro spiders.
Yeah, no, it's like everyone should help everyone, and then you won't have any enemies.
Yeah. But he does have an enemy because Bro Tiger.
Bro Tiger is
Oh man.
always getting up to hijinks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the stories go kind of Spider-Man and Nancy is he's either a hero or he's
A trickster.
a trickster, or he's like in the Bro story he kind of tricks everyone into giving him all their stuff, and then he uses it, and then he's like, oh no wait, this was for everyone to use, I'm going to share the wealth. And so that was the story where at the end it was like, and that's why leaders always try to hide what they actually have, something like that.
Sure.
So I kind of thought these were like Grimm's fairy tales, which I like a lot,
Oh
but
yeah.
with in the Caribbean.
Yeah, it has a great sense of place to it. Each story has this crazy little song that's being sung by someone.
Mhm.
The prose is very different. It's a different sort of dialogue going on.
It almost like, I think it's better if it's read aloud.
Oh,
rather
I
than,
definitely was reading parts aloud
Yeah.
while I was reading.
Yeah, it just has that kind of cadence that, like, if you have kids and you want to read this to your kids, it's gonna go really well.
The dialogue, it bounces. The
Yes.
prose bounces. It's very, very fun in that regard. And things happen on a dime. Like,
Mm-hmm.
one sentence, someone's dead. The one's like, nope, they're not dead. They ran away pissed off.
Yeah, there was a pretty high body count in this one, though.
Oh, no, yeah, this was a crazy story. And
Yeah.
also, there are two different dance-offs.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good book.
And both of them were great.
Yeah, in 100 pages and like 15 stories, two different dance-offs.
Mm-hmm.
They were epic.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not fair. A spider guy with 8 legs and a dance-off?
Yeah,
He was dancing with Bro Tiger, and in the first dance-off, the tiger is riding a horse.
Mm.
Wow.
Okay,
Sure.
so that's fair.
Yeah. It's totally fair.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah,
I did not see that coming.
I really enjoyed this book. It was I had to read it in sections because each story was like something that you needed to think about. It's not really a binge reading session.
But I admire that there was continuity between them. Like, you should read the stories in order.
Definitely in order. Yeah,
Yeah.
just take a break between
Yeah, just to really appreciate it.
to appreciate it and like suck it all in. That's not what I was. Soak it all in.
Just suck it up.
Just suck it in.
Suck it up.
Just suck this book up. Yes.
Are there illustrations?
Hell yeah, there are.
So, like, you can see a picture of the tiger riding a horse?
Yeah, they do that.
Can you show me one later?
Yes, I can. I can do
That's
it
awesome.
as soon as I can. And I just turned to one where the tiger is in a throne wearing a crown, wearing a long sleeve dress shirt, striped tie, and blue jeans.
This tiger
That's
sounds like he
cool.
needs to be my best friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
He's the villain.
he's the villain.
I
but
don't see a problem.
Really?
yeah, no, he's like
He's legit the villain.
a big bad wolf villain.
Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of like,
He's around.
yeah.
Wait,
He-
the big bad wolf is not a nice villain.
No, he's not nice, but like you just see a lot of other stories about the big bad wolf. He's used pretty liberally.
Gotcha.
And so, like, if you get the whole mythology of everyone who's written about the big bad wolf, then he's actually a pretty cool guy.
Well, that's that fantastic book, right? By John, impossible last name, who wrote The Sticky Cheese Man.
Oh, yeah.
Where
yeah.
the true story about the Big Bad Wolf.
Yes.
where-
That's a fun
Oh my
story.
gosh, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's on the list. That's a great children's book.
Yeah, it is.
I think I know what you're talking about. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. It's really good. So, what would you rate this?
I would say I didn't think about this before. I think 4. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it for, especially if you like fairy tales and animals and morals.
If you are a moral person,
I
you
hate
would like-
morals.
I'll give it a 4.2. I found it to be very entertaining. I did laugh aloud. It's clever. It's
Yeah.
witty. It's a ton of fun. I recommend this one. It's really cool.
And the prose is very, like I read the foreword and I was like, oh, this is going to be a really stuffy. The foreword was written by the author. It's going to be a really stuffy book. But then you get into it and it's like someone sitting around the campfire telling a story. He like repeats himself sometimes. And
Right.
So yeah, it's
It's good stuff.
it's a good read.
I recommend it. We found this at our library, and we found many places across the country. And now, here we go, guys.
Woo!
We're going to talk about, I'm just going to say it right now, one of the greatest sitcoms ever made.
If not the greatest sitcom ever made.
Yeah.
Quite
Or is I-
possibly.
Or as I can't say that because I haven't finished it yet. But this is Cheers.
Well, at the end, they all turn into Nazis and run off into the distance.
Then
and
it's
it
going to get
really
a point
goes
down. It's
downhill.
going to get a point down. But I have... this show is incredible. I feel like I came in late to this show. I only started it a couple years ago. And I have... So, just for clarification, I'm now in season 7 of the show out of 11. This is a show that is about Sam Malone, who is a former Red Sox player who now runs a Boston bar named Cheers. And it's all about the people who work and also frequent the bar on a daily basis, which includes Diane, who is a very elite college graduate who has to be a waitress for reasons that you'll see in the pilot. You have Norm, an accountant who's always at the bar, and
Norm!
cheer when he calls his name. You have Cliff, the mailman, who always has facts that may or may not be true. You have Carla, who has
My hero.
so many children, who's one of the meanest waitresses you'll ever see. And you have Coach, who's also a bartender, who is the most lovable guy in the world, but also maybe the dumbest person ever. And that's the starting cast for Cheers. As the years go on, we have people like Fraser Crane and Woody and Rebecca
Frasier.
join the
I love
cast.
Woody.
I don't know Woody yet.
Oh, Woody's great.
So this is a show that I feel we're going to spend quite a number of minutes on this, but let's just get around the
Oh,
table
man.
real fast and say how much you've seen and how much you love the show. Those are your only...
Options. That's
I'm
the
going to start because I think I've seen the least.
I know I've seen the least.
No,
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys start then.
Pedro...
Yeah, Pedro, you've definitely not seen the least. Explain how much you've watched and in how many days you've watched it.
Well, let's see. I saw the pilot on Friday last, which would put... What day was that? I don't know. Friday last. The
You mean the most recent Friday?
15th. Yes.
So that was 4 days ago.
Something like that.
We're
Really,
recording on
really
Tuesday.
three. Yeah, okay.
Something like that. That's when I saw the pilot. And then didn't watch any more on Friday, but then
just say
Saturday...
where are you now?
Saturday and
Just
Sunday.
say where are you now?
I'm... I can't even say it. I'm 2 episodes away, or maybe an episode away, or maybe right on the season 3 finale.
So you've watched, just to be clear,
Between 66 and 68 episodes.
in
3 days.
Between Friday
Well,
and Tuesday.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, yeah.
3
That's
days.
3 days. Then you just counted out 3 days.
Yeah, something like 20 episodes a day.
Something like more than that, actually. Something
Probably.
like more than that. They are 23-minute episodes.
Yeah.
Listeners, you do the math.
Well, I spent a good day watching just Cheers. I would say like 10 hours.
But I have like a really comfortable couch, so I'd like sleeping on the couch, like straight up sometimes as a replacement for my bed. So it's perfect. I just watch Cheers until I fall asleep, and then I wake up. I'm already on the couch. I just turn the TV back on. And
Wow.
resume Cheers.
I've seen him do this.
It's how I do.
So, Lee, how much have you seen the show?
I am getting ready to finish up episode 10 of season 6.
Awesome. And Adam, where are you?
I'm a little bit into season 2, like maybe 8 episodes into season 2.
Okay.
I skipped around a little. I watched the first 5 episodes, and then I watched the last 5 episodes, or maybe 3 episodes of season 1, a couple into season 2, and then I watched a sprinkling in season 6 to get some of the new cast members.
Yeah.
I felt like I should skip around for this review, but
someone was supposed to give us a list.
And
Then you all said, I don't want the list.
No, we
I
said
didn't
we
say
want
I
to
don't
start.
want the
Yeah,
list.
I never said I didn't want the list.
You and Adam both said we're going to watch in order, so I didn't
No,
give you
I
a best
said
of.
I agree with Adam on watching at least some of it in order. But for example, I wanted to see the episode with that one guy. That comedian.
John
Famous.
Cleese.
That's him.
John.
It was the difference between what we wanted and what we needed for the sake of this podcast. I followed my wants, and I'm just watching this in order because I don't want to miss anything, and I don't want anything to be spoiled for me.
Oh,
Right.
man.
But I know,
And that John Cleese episode is actually a major spoiler if you actually are following the story.
Yeah, I feel like there are some like major culturally known spoilers about Cheers that Pedro doesn't know, so we just have to be really quiet about it.
I may have heard of them. Who knows?
Well,
I'll let you guys know next week.
Sure.
that's
I
true.
probably
Yeah,
will.
you probably will. Yeah.
So it's such an incredible show, and it really is the show that... I mean, obviously there's sitcoms before this, and there were some incredible sitcoms before this. But so rarely do you see just an incredible amount of talent involved in front of and behind the camera for this long. I'm on season 7, and yeah, there's maybe an episode or 2 I didn't love, but for the most part, they're really doing complicated, cool scripts where you watch it and go, oh, clearly this person is going to get caught up in this lie, that's how it's going to end. No, within 20 minutes, they do 2 more reversals of that. There's always, like, it's such a tight, well-made thing, and it's so character-based. With everyone is such a very brilliantly defined person. And much like my favorite sitcoms ever, Community, which is almost the meta new age version of Cheers, it's about people who are wonderful, kind people, but they are also very broken people. Sam he's an ex-ball player, but he was a very troubling alcoholic.
Details, man. He's not just a ball player. He was a relief pitcher.
Sam Mayday Malone.
Yeah.
Sam
Which is such
Mayday
a great.
Malone.
You can tell. I mean, it's such a thing that Bostonians would name their relief pitcher. I do love. My family is from Boston, and this show is so Boston. It makes me want to hurl. I mean, I love it and I hate it. I watched an episode with. There's an episode. I don't remember where exactly it falls with a Yankees fan. And,
season 1.
and Carla, who get in a fight over the Boston Red Sox, and I'm just like, it's so Boston.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have a whole subplot with Carla and the Red Wings goalie.
Yes.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
That I'm looking forward
So
to.
good.
That cannot go wrong.
It's really, really good. And it's just, all these characters are so brilliant and they're funny, but the show recognizes that these are characters who spend every waking moment at a bar. You only occasionally see them get really drunk. Norm is drinking every moment they can, but these are people who are avoiding the things that hurt them, and they're in this situation, and they make a community, a peaceful, kind of nurturing collection of people from this. And it's able to really go between incredibly silly, hilarious comedy, and then sometimes it will stop. And there will be 10 minutes of the 20 minutes where there is no jokes, and there are 2 characters getting into an argument, and it's real. And
It's intense.
It's very incredibly done, especially between Sam and Diane.
Oh, man.
Big roller coaster ride going through those 60 episodes that quickly.
Okay, so I started watching this a couple months ago, probably close to a year ago now, and then I stopped for a while, and I stopped like right when Diane leaves the show.
What?
There it was, Lee! That was the thing Pedro didn't know.
You didn't. How can you not know?
That's why I said there's a huge culturally known spoiler that Pedro doesn't know.
Pedro doesn't know a lot of things. He still doesn't know who D.L. Hughley is.
I'm so...
Pedro, please look up
I don't know if I want to
Hughley.
keep going.
No, Pedro.
No, leave! Look what you've done!
Diane leaves, and D.L. Hughley comes in and becomes the romantic interest to Sam.
Okay.
Please believe that.
I'm sullen now.
Diane comes back, it's okay.
Yeah, she does come back.
Wait, what? Stop!
Now
Anyway.
you won't know what's real.
Okay.
I don't know. I got really bored with Sam and Diane.
I can talk about that. if
Sam
you're
and
done.
Diane. Dun, dun.
No, that's a different song.
That's
Okay.
Jack and Diane.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So,
Do you have
Adam,
more to say about that, Lee?
Lee.
Well, I just get really bored because it's Ross and Rachel, but 10 years earlier,
Okay.
10, 15
But also
years
much
earlier.
better.
But
Way
that
better.
was exactly so. That was just the only thing I wanted to say about Cheers because I didn't watch very much of it. Was that it's I love Friends. I've watched every single episode of Friends. Sam and Diane are Ross and Rachel, but so much better. Ross and Rachel are a pale imitation of what they are. I mean, in that Cheers is brave enough to make them actually not make sense. Sam and Diane. I mean, I've only seen a couple episodes of the first and second season, but I will stake my claim on this. Sam and Diane should not date. They hate each other. They do not get along. It's great that they have this cute love-hate thing going on, but they are very different and angry at each other.
they're fundamentally fascinating, and within the number of seasons that she's on the show, which we're going to be vague about how many that is, because some of us doesn't know that she's not on the show the entire time.
How can you not know that?
I didn't know it.
That's why I said, let's be careful.
Pedro just recently learned who David Letterman is. I'm not kidding.
What?
Well, like a couple of years ago.
You live in Indiana!
So
He
It's
doesn't
like
know.
one of the two things we are proud of.
I could
What's the
list
other
off
one?
facts and be just as shocked that you don't know them too. I won't, because you guys don't care about these types of things.
We're
But
ignoring this. So within the number of seasons that they're on the show, there is, to my mind, it gets a bit repetitive, but I think it's also very brilliant in that when they do kind of become the on again, off again. I mean, it is called the Sam and Diane relationship with other sitcoms, with the will they, won't they. I think.
oh, really? They use that as like that's the
Sam
definition.
and Diane
Yes.
is the staple of the will they, won't they,
Yeah.
and
Stop!
It's
Lee is so
referenced
disappointed
in, like,
at me.
every TV show ever.
but
No,
anyway,
maybe. Apparently not enough. Or maybe I don't watch them enough.
But
I don't know.
when they have the different ways, they usually do a different twist on it, where they can go from longing for each other, or now they're more mature in their relationship, or now they're furious, and they can kind of have wherever you are in the up and down of Sam and Diane, comedy can come from it always. They know how to make every part of that situation funny to them as characters, and also them as the rest of the bar who's affected by this. Especially Carla, who consistently hates Diane so much.
Yep.
And for good reason. I mean, like, I will say, Austin assigned us all Cheers characters,
Yeah.
and he assigned me Diane, and I'm a little offended.
No,
Did he assign himself Sam?
No, he did not, which makes
No.
it even
You get
weirder.
this text.
Given
I only glanced at it.
You glance at a 5-line text. Okay.
Why am I Cliff?
Oh, Pedro.
I guess.
Oh, Pedro.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it makes
Pedro.
sense. That makes sense.
No, I think.
But I
Brian
can't be
just-
Norm?
No, I think I described you once, Pedro. You want to be Norm, but you're really Cliff.
I don't drink as much as Norm.
Oh,
Pedro-
that makes it sadder.
Pedro, I think on average you make as much Cliff sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I was going to kind of echo what Austin was saying about Sam and Diane, that because I'm only in the beginning parts of season 2 when they first actually get together.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
You've seen that episode.
This
My
show
God.
is over 20 years old.
Yes, the statute of limitations is over. Statute. So the beginnings of it is almost every episode is about Sam and Diane almost breaking up, but it's different. The reasoning for it is, I think, is different enough that it's still good.
Mhm.
And then they do have episodes that focus more on the more minor characters. Like like my whole thing with the show is that the characters are all stereotypes, but they branch out so much from those stereotypes, and then they fall back into the stereotype in perfect moments that it's hilarious, and you're like, oh, that's Carla, or that's Coach. Like there's one episode where Coach coaches a little league team, and he's like the buffoon, and he's like super nice to everyone, and then he gets in front of this little league team and is just like a slave driver, and and then it just that's what I want to say. It's so clever about how it mixes things up.
I can't remember. My favorite coachisms was in a later episode with him, season 3. Pedro, you can help me out. He isn't even in the episode because we can talk about this. Pedro at least knows this.
Yeah, I think I've
that
seen
the actor was very, very sick during season 3, and he did. The actor passed away. So season 3 is Coach's last season, and so there's a number of episodes when they just talk about what Coach is away.
Yeah,
kind of the spirit of Coach is still there, even though the actor isn't during this time. And I think he was supposed to meet someone for a date.
I'll pick you up at the airport?
Yeah, I'll pick you up at the airport. What is that exact line?
It was his daughter. I forget what it was, but Coach was supposed to pick her up at the airport. So he drove to the actual airport that she was supposed to be taking off from and picked her up. And then they drove the however many hundreds of miles.
Right, of
It was a
course.
good central point to pick her up, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of,
So that's where he was that week.
Mhm.
It's such a lovely show, and it's such a nice show to see because there's so many of the hangout comedies, like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, etc. And sometimes you kind of see the antagonist come from within the group. You know,
Mhm.
Barney is kind of evil, Ross is annoying. You know, that's where the conflict comes from. This one, they're all people who like each other, and they're all people who are pretty much always on to their side. It's kind of life that gets in their way.
Mhm.
And it's really impressive to kind of see that consistently. And even though, you know, at the beginning they mock Diane in this late because she is so much...
Because Diane's the worst.
Honestly,
Classing up the joint.
Diane's my favorite sitcom characters ever. I adore Diane so much.
You better.
I
Yeah.
can't stand her.
She's the worst.
Well, that's why I signed you, Carla.
Really?
Yeah.
But
And I don't like her
sometimes
either.
I got over, I don't know. I couldn't stand Carla after a while. I'm like, stop being so pissed off.
But she is. You'd be pissed off too if you were short, Italian, and always pregnant.
Well, yeah, but some things were just uncalled for. Some of the things they do in this show is straight up mean, but
Carla is...
they laugh
is
it off.
vicious.
Not just Carla, everyone.
Oh yeah.
It's really mean. I'm like,
It's-
wow,
Cause
is this what it was like in the 80s?
No, it works. It's how they function. Carla is so incredibly cruel to Cliff, but there's moments when it's just them by themselves when she's actually nice to him. It's just how they function.
Yeah.
If someone says a line, Carla will be behind them with the tray with an insulting line. This will disappear. No matter where
Well,
you
I'm
are.
not saying just
match
banter,
people behind you.
insulting banter or whatever like that. I'm saying actual actions and things done to people. I can't remember now, but
because it really is this kind of supportive and abusive relationship that kind of defines so many things.
Well,
And I don't think, I just said they're not antagonists. I don't think that's true. It's just, it's how they all work. They work as this little community.
Well, and it is. I mean, you've compared it to Community a couple times, and I think when I was first watching it, what I was comparing it to obviously was Friends because it's the most obvious. It's a 6-person, it's a coffee shop, not a bar, because we all got Puritan in the 90s, but basically has a lot of similarities, except that in many ways the shows could not be more different. Friends is about 6 boring, 20-something rich white people with stupid problems who are all pretty much the same. And I say this honestly as a person who adores Friends. I love Friends. I think it's hilarious. And when we get to it, I love lots of positive things to say to it. But its great weakness is those characters are all the damn same person. And Cheers is about an Italian mom with 6 kids, or however many kids Carla has at any given time, which I think probably fluctuates. An alcoholic
it fluctuates.
who knows?
Hopefully, that's one of those things that only increases.
One would hope.
There was an episode recently I watched where she goes, I have 7 kids. says, Carly, you have 8. She goes, oh, right.
Yeah.
There's 2 more coming?
And I mean,
There's so many kids in the show.
Sam Malone is a deeply tragic character at the center of the whole thing.
Kind of is.
Diane's a mess with a mess of a life. I mean, just like the
well, she's straight up nuts.
Well, she's straight up nuts, but also like, I mean, the pilot, when you're introduced to her, I mean, she's got she's a grad student, and like it turns out the thing that she was apparently born to do was tend bar. Like this poor, I mean, like. Damn, like.
Although she wasn't, she's a terrible bartender.
Well,
She's not very good at that either.
She's not very good at it.
She
Although
tries.
it is the joke of the first episode that she has like a strange gift for remembering the drinks.
Because she's smart.
Very, because she's smart, but and various sort of middle-aged guys with wives. I mean, no one is from the same socioeconomic class. No one, or not, at least they're not all from the same socioeconomic class. They don't have the same family structure. They don't have the same. They don't go home to the same kinds of homes when they go home from the bar. When you add Frasier into the mix, you get a totally different kind of feel to him.
I love Frasier.
And I mean, I also love the show Frasier, which is actually how I was introduced to the character way before I watched Cheers.
And I've never seen Frasier.
No way!
I'm waiting to finish Cheers.
Oh, Frasier's
Wait,
awesome.
is that show actually?
Yeah, it's a spinoff.
Yes.
Really?
Oh my god, Pedro.
I feel like you just need a sitcom primer.
Well, I'm slowly working through them.
There are episodes of Frasier called like the one where Sam shows up and Sam Malone makes a guest appearance. Like it's a
Frasier is a
spinoff.
sequel spinoff.
Yeah,
that aired the same year as the Cheers finale.
And man, you haven't seen Frasier? Wow, it's so good.
I watch things in order.
And it has the actual Frasier guy?
Yeah. He's the main character with, who was the...
Frasier ran for 10, 11 years, Pedro.
Yeah.
How did you miss it?
I never watched it. Maybe I did, but I didn't recognize anything because I'd never
love
seen
Frasier. Like,
I probably would.
You should watch Frasier.
It is.
It is,
okay, good.
It's really fun.
Then I'll let you guys know next week.
Oh my god.
So, I think there's so much to talk about with Cheers. It's so brilliant. I'll say just kind of one small, slight negative thing in that in season 6, they're trying something very boldly new, and I really appreciate it, and they're trying to satirize the 80s working girl, and I do not think as
Rebecca? Oh, she's the worst. I have huge problems with Rebecca.
I think they really, like, in the very beginning, they have trouble with how to, like, find the humor in having the working girl be the same kind of failure structure as the other ones, and now after seeing a year with her, I think it's a lot stronger because they're able to focus on her more as a person.
Okay, because I was not impressed with her from what I saw.
Yeah, it took a little bit, but as an actress, she still worked very well with the comedy of it all. They just need a little time to figure out exactly how they're going to deal with her. But still, during that time, there were some incredible episodes. I've now seen one episode of Bar Wars, which is apparently their long-running thing where every season them in a bar go on a crazy rivalry of practical jokes. That was awesome. There's so many great supporting characters, too. I'm thinking about Harry the Hand, whereas
I love him.
Harry Anderson, the con artist.
The con artist.
Oh, yeah, I like Harry.
Yeah.
They have an old man who I forget
Kind of
the guy's
annoying.
name, who he's Leonard from Community, but he just kind of comes in for one line to say something like dirty and leave the room. Somebody just they really flesh out the world even more. Mm-hmm. Lilith, who becomes a major Frasier love interest.
Yes, she appears. I know her mostly because she
they
does
don't
make,
get together.
She does make a
See,
Pedro, you can't ask questions if you don't want to know the answers.
But you're giving the answers before I even ask the question.
Pedro,
No, I know Frasier and Diane don't get married at the end of season 3. Or do they? Oh.
Pedro, there's nothing we can say right now that will make you happy.
No, it's okay. You guys can say
Adam
it.
on season 2.
I'm still going to watch it.
Yes. Anyway, I think this is one of the greatest sitcoms I've ever seen. I can't wait. I love the idea that I'm just barely over halfway through. There's so many more things to watch. And even if it does go downhill, there's 11 seasons.
Yeah, I suppose.
I finished 6.
That's not barely over. I guess it is over.
I finished 6 of 11 seasons.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you this good at
Please
numbers?
not talk about numbers. Please.
Well, it is the 11th episode, and there are 11 seasons of Cheers. And 11 is such a great number.
Great, let's hinge. Let's hinge.
times.
Let's
Oh,
hinge.
there's
Wait,
numbers
we
to
talk about the
hinge.
song?
everybody knows your name.
Everyone quotes that.
No,
but
the
I
rest
think
of the
the
song
much
is so
more
much
important
better.
line is the one afterward, where they say, and they're always glad you came.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important detail to have when everybody knows your name.
Yeah, you
Sure.
could have a whole room of people.
People can know your name for bad reasons.
Like if Hitler walks into a room.
Oh, that
We all
shit
know
head.
Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Hitler.
And where everyone's the same.
Although, what I like about that, it was funny, Austin and I had a brief conversation where Austin was like, is that racist? Like, are we, like, is it that you're hanging out with people who are like you? But Cheers isn't saying that at all.
No, that was me watching too many in a row. Number 8, I'm like, and the people are all the same. Like, wait a second.
But
It's more of that people. Everyone has problems. No one's immune from problems. Everyone kind of people. We are all human beings in this kind of difficult world. It's nice to have friends.
Yeah.
So that's what the same people are all the same.
I took it as people are all the same as it's always the same people.
That's true. The same people always in the bar
Right.
with
Yeah.
same kind of problems as you and them.
I
It's
took it as
familiar faces.
both.
Yeah.
A mix of both. But I don't know, the song, everything. Actually, I like the song.
I love
But
this
why
It's
does the
an
guy
amazing song.
have to open up with that flat end line? They never fixed that.
Well, it's not
Well,
flat,
he
it's
only
bluesy.
recorded it once, Pedro.
No, it's he never attains the note. He does in the second line, but never.
Well,
in the
it's
first.
not, I mean, look, I also recognize what you're saying, Pedro. It's not flat, it's bluesy. It's intentional. It's not like he doesn't know he's... It's not, I mean, it's not like the singer doesn't, like, it's not like they just missed it and were like, whoops, well, guess we can't do another take for this, incredibly successful sitcom. Let's just leave it flat.
I suppose, but also, why does it start so quietly?
It does start really quietly.
It's too much. Like I always think, do I have to turn up my TV? No, I don't, because I just saw an opening scene. The volume is fine. Why? And actually, I think they addressed that at some point, because episode 4 of season 3, it opens up louder, and you can tell that the audio is weird.
You have
but-
been watching too many episodes of Cheers in a row. I'm flagging this play. Also, so just so I'm clear, Pedro, are you actually saying that you don't like the Cheers theme song?
I like the song a lot, but something about the entire opening as a whole, like, the pictures are really charming and stuff, but it just doesn't feel like the show Cheers. Seeing all of these early
Fully
20th century crazy partying going on.
Pedro, I think you need to step outside, take a really deep breath, look at the world, like just feel the sun on your face.
It's just too.
But everyone knows my name down there.
Everyone knows my name.
Okay.
And I don't know
All right,
if they're glad I
we're-
came yet.
We're
But
very
I don't know,
worried about Pedro.
something about the song. It's a bit long too.
No, it's not.
I think so.
It's perfect.
For it's there's only like 20 some minutes of show, guys.
Henge.
I give this
4.9.
damn, it's my turn. I give this 5. This is one of the best sitcoms ever made. This is a 5.
I give it a 4.9 because that last note was flat in the theme song.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's why he actually gave it a 4.9.
I'm also only 3 seasons in. I have to finish the whole thing before I can tell you it's perfect.
Oh, you mean like how you gave 24 5 after one season?
Well, yeah, 2 seasons.
No, you
No,
only watched
one-
one by the time
Well,
that we
but
recorded.
Jack Bauer is different.
He's different than Sam Malone.
Sam Mayday Malone.
All right, Lee, how many hinges?
I'm gonna give it 4.5 because the Sam and Diane plotline annoys the piss out of me.
That's fair.
Such a Carla.
I'm gonna give it a 4.4 based on what I've seen so far. I imagine it'll go up, but unfortunately, there are sometimes things about Cheers that just don't hold my attention. It might just be because it's an older sitcom, but doesn't always grab me. But it's worth it, and I'm always glad I came. I'm always glad I came to Cheers.
Cheers, currently, the entire series is on Netflix, and you can probably find it in other places. It's on DVD. If you have not ever seen this show, and just always thought it's one of those old shows, we all loved it. Sure, we're 6
It doesn't
or 6 years
feel old at all.
Yeah.
I definitely was in the
It's
category that you're
surprising.
talking about.
Yeah, I was too. I
Yeah.
refused to watch it because I had started it and I'm like, oh, everyone's like old timey and in a bar. By
Oh.
old timey, I mean from the 70s,
80s.
80s. When I was born.
It's,
I mean, when I was born
you're
in
an
this
immortal.
incarnation.
it's surprisingly risque when I started watching.
It
I'm
is.
like,
It
oh.
is.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, I always forget this about American culture, but like, the 90s got really Puritan. Like, as soon as you go before 1990, everyone curses more, they drink more, and they have way more sex than they do in the 90s, which is the sitcoms that I was sort of began to know the sitcom in. Mm-hmm. So, in many ways, both Seinfeld and Friends are way more tame.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What?
So, yeah, cheers.
So I should watch Frasier.
So Pedro, are you? Well, you should finish Cheers.
Finish Cheers first.
Look, I watched most of Frasier. I was really into Frasier when it was syndicated, so I watched it before I'd watched Cheers, and it works just fine when you don't know it's a Cheers spinoff. But
yeah,
I'm sure it would be even more fun now.
Nope, it's a sequel. You watch it in order, like every day.
Austin, that's not the way that normal people function. It's just you.
I don't.
No, I prefer watching things in order too, if I can.
Okay, well, you're both weird. I mean, like, it's not that you're like you can't do it that way. I'm just saying that like. You don't have to watch Cheers before you watch Frasier.
You're done talking about Cheers. You're done.
Intern, what do you think? Do you have to watch Cheers before you watch Frasier?
No, I don't have to do these stupid tasks that you guys have to. I know I'm the intern, and I do have to do stupid tasks.
That's your job quality.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what interns do.
But, like...
What was the most recent stupid task you had to do?
Demoting me.
Okay, if you guys...
You enjoyed that one.
I did enjoy that one. That was... so much fun.
Stupid.
You're stupid.
You're stupider.
No, you are so stupid. Like it's
you're dumber than Sam.
Okay, sure. Okay, I'm dumber than Sam.
And Coach.
Okay, but no. All right. To answer your question.
So you have seen Cheers?
No. This. Okay.
We got you in a lie, ass.
Okay, I've seen Cheers. To answer your question, Sarah, the dumbest thing that I've done recently is I have to, like, upkeep. You know when you have Velcro and then you, like, rip it apart, that sound it makes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We had a lot of problems with that sound. I don't really want to go into it because it's boring, but I had to, like, re-record that sound for you guys.
Wait, so is that why? Because there was a few days ago, I opened something with Velcro and it didn't rip. It didn't sound. It just kind of.
So that was you?
What? No. Apparently that was you.
Well, yes, we had one hiccup, and I guess I'm glad it's you because not a lot of people know about the old gods. Hey, I have a question for you guys.
What's up?
Do you guys really not remember why you're doing these tasks? Why
I want to die?
Why we cursed you with immortality?
I was
so long
hammered.
What did we do?
I just remember something with Bethany.
Well, she sucks.
She's kind of the worst.
You better not talk.
I took a lot of blows
so loudly about that.
Once I realized we couldn't die.
Yeah.
Fun fact: you guys realized how we don't decompose, right? After a major battle, like my arm was cut off, and I didn't know where to find it, but I went back like a year later, and there it was, just sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, we're not total assholes. You have to still function in society. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, thanks.
Getting it attached was...
Anyway, I need to go. Like,
I'm sorry, you had an entire year without an arm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I did see that. That's
gotta be funny.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, I mean,
yeah,
you know.
It was great.
Wait, oh man,
Pedro,
I have so many questions for you.
I do hate you, though.
Yeah, I hate you, too. It goes both ways, buddy.
What's the next number?
Yeah, let me give you that, because I have a lot of Velcro-related business to do.
Sure you do.
302.
30. Oh, that's a great number.
That's like...
Okay, bye.
Bye?
Hey, Adam.
Oh, man. Oh, my... Oh.
That has to hurt the throat whenever that happens.
It does. I don't know what it is.
Otherworldly possessions do that.
Whatever. I don't even care.
You care a little bit, though.
Yeah.
302, huh?
302.
Horrible.
302.
What have I got?
Oh, the movie is... Oh, this is our first time repeating a director. We're going to have the movie Bigger Than Life.
Who's that?
Which director?
Nicholas Ray, who directed Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh.
Oh.
I was really worried you were going to say we were watching the other movie by the guy who made Birth of a Nation.
That's right.
No.
No,
Birth of a Nation 2.
that would be
More
like-
racist.
I'm dreading that one.
It would be in the teens
That
or
was
something.
way better.
300 is... What year is that?
What?
302.
We did 326 today, so it's not too far off.
Oh, cool.
We're in the 50s.
Ooh, that means I get a cheese. Ooh, I do. My cheese is Munster cheese.
Ooh.
What kind of Munster?
Well, it's just the category of Munster, which includes both the French and German varieties. So we may need to have a nice little, spectrum there.
Cool.
Chat
What kind
about
let me know what wine pairs with that.
I
Let's
will.
go.
So, what album do we have?
We have Bad Company by Bad Company.
All right.
They were real
Did you
creative.
just have a stroke? Okay.
The children's book is Jumanji.
That's not right.
Jumanji?
Jumanji.
You've been watching too
By
much Years,
Robin
but
Williams, right?
I mean,
What's-
isn't it by Chris Van Allsburg?
Yeah.
wait, that's a movie, right?
Jumanji?
It was a movie from the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I might just watch the movie and not read the book.
It's a picture
I
book.
might do both.
I'm
It's
just
a
kidding.
picture book.
See, I have Black Knight by Deep Purple.
All right. And my TV show is...
Yeah.
Okay. I have Verstehen sind Spaß.
Oh, God, that I'm
They're
getting that
staying
better.
Yeah.
Sie Spaß.
Yeah.
Well,
They're staying to C-Spot.
in case you were new to our show, I've already reviewed a German TV show in episode 4 without subtitles, so we're going to see how well I do next week. Seriously, if anyone knows any subtitles for Turkish for beginners, please send them my way. If I enjoy what I
This is
saw.
not Turkish for beginners again. Like, what is... Okay, well, we'll
This-
find out next week.
I believe,
Yeah.
if I know my German shows correctly, this is actually a prank show.
Cool.
Interesting.
So that'll be fun. That'll be next week. That we're going to be covering number 302. But also before that, we are going to have once again our second bonus episode. This Monday we had our first one come out. Since Pedro had to switch topics, we are now covering 2 of the songs a week to kind of catch up to what we're doing. So this Monday we are going to be reviewing "I Am the Resurrection" by the Stonewalls. And
Stone Roses.
Stone Roses. We'll do that one as well. And we'll do No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne. So you can catch that short episode on Monday. But before we leave today, we are starting a new thing to encourage you to give us an iTunes review so people can find our show. We're going to have Pedro, without any prep whatsoever really, give a truly sincere 15-second compliment.
15 seconds?
15-second compliment
All right.
to
we'll
a
get a
you-
timer going.
Yeah, Austin is doing it right
I got a
now.
timer. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we're way ahead of you, Pedro.
So don't you worry about it. So Pedro, we're going to do the first one today. Let's do one a week for now. Until a billion come in, then we'll switch it up. But truly, because review on iTunes. So Pedro, our first review came from
Blue Tofu 1!
Good job, Pedro. Blue Tofu 1, and start complimenting them now.
Blue Tofu 1, you are by far the most remarkable and beautiful person I have ever had the fortune or misfortune of not meeting. Blue is my favorite color. I like tofu, and you're number 1, which means you are the best, unless someone else comes along. But for now, rock on, Blue Tofu 1.
Nailed it. So if you want to also have a very sincere compliment from Pedro, please leave us a review on iTunes. Doesn't have to be 5 stars, but we'll like it if it is. But also, in the meantime, you can email us at theimmortalspodcast@gmail.com. Love to hear your thoughts on anything we've reviewed so far or in previous episodes. Or you can tweet us at theimmortalspod. There also we will give links to different things we've covered, like songs, albums, and clips from things we're doing. You'll see pictures of the food we're eating. And truly, we'd love to hear what you're watching, possibly along with us, or maybe just sing Cheers. And you want to talk about Sam and Diane. We'd love to do that.
Sam and Diane.
Not the same
still
for
not
no.
right.
I know, but that's keeps coming in my head. Anyway.
So thank you everyone for listening. My name is Austin.
I'm Adam.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Lee.
I'm Pedro.
We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
In the morning, the end of December, I'm writing you now just to see if you're better. New York is cold, but I like where I'm living. There's music on Clinton Street all through the evening.